The following is a presentation of TFNN. It is now time for Living a Primal Lifestyle with your host, Nico de Haan. And now, here's Nico de Haan.
Hi, folks. Nico de Haan here with Paige Clarke, and we're just sitting here living a primal lifestyle. I hope you are too. And, welcome to the show. Our call-in number here is 877-927-6648. And we want to remind you to have a look at our Health Signals newsletter. It's been out about a week, but I've got a beautiful one coming up the 1st of September. And, our shows are archived on TFNN.com. You can listen to the audios. You can also listen to them on iTunes. Just look for TFNN and Living a Primal Lifestyle. And the videos are on livingaprimal.lifestyle.com. So we're right into the program. They're also on YouTube, of course. And we just want to welcome you to the show. You know, we've got a beautiful day here in downtown Clearwater, Florida. And what's going on, of course, is just around the corner, we've got a hurricane coming. Isn't that cool?
And supposedly a Republican National Convention.
And a convention, kind of the same thing, isn't it? I think. So, what's really going on is, of course, we want to talk about the hurricane because we want to prepare ourselves for events like this. And whether you're living in Florida or anywhere in the nation, you've got to be aware of the weather or the fires or whatever nature is going to bring us. And that brings with it all kinds of different stresses. It brings about a chance for you to prepare yourself not only for the storm, but also kind of to clean out your life. That's the way I look at it. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at my shed, which I haven't looked at all summer long because it's too hot to go in there, and now my generator's in there.
Right.
So I want to start my generator up. I want to make sure it's all ready to go in case the storm gets close. And I want to kind of clean up the yard and clean up the back area and the pool area and make sure there's as little damage as possible. So whether this thing actually forms into a hurricane or not, we don't know yet, but it's good to be prepared.
We've been so lucky the last few years.
Yeah, we really have. In fact, we were talking about this earlier. We have a kind of a myth going in, and whether it's a myth or not, I don't really know either. But they say this whole area around the Clearwater area is kind of a safe zone. And it was Indian mythology said that this hurricanes kind of bypass this. And if we look at where the hurricanes have been going the last 100 years or so, they've really missed this area quite a bit. Mm-hmm. So we're kind of hoping that the old Indian mythology is true.
Yes, we are.
But we do live on a high bluff, and both Paige and I live about 40 feet above sea level, or maybe
that's
a little
pretty high
more.
For Florida.
It's very high for Florida, and that's one of the reasons I moved there. I looked at the floodplain, and I said, okay, this is where I want to live. So, and I've been through storms. I've been through storms at least sea level in South Florida quite a few times, and we've had quite a few here in the last 16 years. Mm-hmm. And, it's always exciting to me. I always look forward to the different change in the weather. It's kind of weird, but I certainly don't want the damage that goes with it and, mm-hmm. the time off work. There's all kinds of things that are very stressful, too.
Mm-hmm. Well, either way, it's going to be an exciting weekend, or either way. If there's a storm, it's going to be exciting. Yeah. So to speak, and if there's a Republican convention, it's going to be exciting.
That's exciting, too, in itself. Right?
But when you said the word, prepare, I do think we in Florida tend to be a little complacent about being prepared. It's like all of a sudden, oh my gosh, and everyone's running and buying water in case there's a interruption. But it kind of brings up a little bit of a topic that I really think overall, no matter where we are, we really should all take it upon ourselves to be prepared for a fire or a hurricane or a financial interruption or an economical interruption. I mean, there's a lot of people that are doing that. And I think it's prudent. I mean, I think it's a shame that people kind of make fun of people like that. Some people do.
Yeah.
But who do you want to be with if something did cause an interruption in supply?
I want to be with somebody who's got all the goods.
Being prepared,
you
right.
have to be prepared. So, but that relates to us, too. I mean, individually.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
And how?
Well, I think that everybody needs to be prepared. And it can start with simple things. I mean, what was the one thing that everybody should have?
Water.
Right. It's what we should drink every day, but everybody needs to be prepared and have, have adequate water.
Yeah, you need about a gallon a day for every person. And that's just for drinking.
Right.
And then you have to, if the power goes out, then you have to flush the toilets. You have to do stuff for cooking. Maybe you want to clean yourself up a little bit now and then. That would work too. So there's a lot of things that you need to prepare for. But I think one of the topics that we kind of want to get into is that with our current situation here in not only the United States but probably worldwide is, we have government taking over our health care. We have all kinds of different ways of stressing us out, and we need to take care of ourselves. We need to be the ones responsible. In fact, you have a little saying that you used.
Yeah, the new care is self-care. I really think that writing's on the wall, that it really is up to all of us to start being our own best healthcare providers. You need a team.
And we're the team behind you, folks. And, one of the ways you can really catch up on how to prepare yourself is the newsletter. Our newsletter is full of things that you can investigate for yourself. And I always tell you, once you start looking into things, you can start weeding through the bad and the good and finding out what really works and what really works for you. And I try a lot of those things. I mean, I've been an experiment all my life, but pretty much.
And the newsletter is so rich. I mean, it's a 20-page newsletter that, you're gathering information from a lot of free sources, but a lot of paid sources that you're getting pertinent information that's very helpful to use for your health and well-being. And we hope to continue that, and that's our idea here, is to talk about the things that we're interested in and interested in sharing with you.
So, you were at a conference last week educating yourself so you can help your clients. So what was the conference all about?
Well, it actually wasn't a conference. It's I'm constantly continuing my education, but this particular one was I'm working with an excellent educator in the area for clinical aromatherapy.
Okay.
Now, this is not about making my own soaps and perfumes and things. This is about this is about using aromatherapy in the medicinal clinical way. I mean, they do smell good. But they're
making
powerful.
your own soap, I don't think does. So.
Yeah, they're powerful healing agents, and information is contained in the essential oils that is great for healing. And so I am going to get a certification as an aromatherapy. I want to use it in my practice. I would like to use aromatherapy blends to help people on their healing journey.
Of course, this has been used for hundreds of thousands of years by people,
hundreds and thousands of years.
Yeah.
But just to give you an idea, and we'll talk more as I continue the certification. I'm actually being taught by Essential Elements. The director, Therese Miller, is an excellent instructor and very experienced instructor in aromatherapy, certified nationally. Wow. And I will be as well when I'm done, so I'm very excited about it.
Cool.
And, but, a lot of people don't understand. There is scientific research now, showing that essential oils are effective against MRSA. We need to be paying attention to this kind of stuff. We've created, through the synthetic pharmaceutical industry, resistant bugs. And that's why we have some of the problems that we're having these days. And this kind of research, although it does often get suppressed, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more.
Yeah, we certainly are.
But we're seeing that these are being used in clinical studies in hospitals to eradicate things such as MRSA. You probably aren't going to hear that if you turn on your mainstream news. You have to look into the...
One of the things I want to point out to the taggers and taggeresses out there is that these bugs have very, very short lifespans, while we have a fairly long lifespan. In fact, I want a longer lifespan. But so they reproduce thousands and thousands and thousands of times. So they have many, many generations, and each generation produces these mutants that are stronger than others. So they're always going to win the battle. How we can win the battle is to go back to what we used to do to protect ourselves against that. And that is what you had talked to me about earlier this morning, that being part of the earth.
Absolutely.
And this aromatherapy helps you get back to that type of thing, doesn't it? That's what I'm understanding.
I think so, yeah. I think so. And we're kind of going full swing here. We're starting to realize that the answers really are in nature. And people are becoming awake and aware. Another little tidbit that I can share with you is there's clinical studies that show that the essential oil of lemon, just the inhalation of the essential oil of lemon, properly blended, because there are safety concerns with essential oils, is more effective than antidepressants, than a pharmaceutical antidepressant in relieving depression. It's
well, I believe that.
It's, and not only that, it's anti-tumoral, it's antibacterial, antifungal, it's disinfectant. We can go on and on.
Yeah, well, you know what? My mother, for years and years, had this special perfume from Holland. I think it was called 66 or something like that. And whenever she had a headache, she would put that on a hanky and she would breathe it in, and that would help her headache. So
and it was probably an essential oil-based one, because now I would never encourage anyone to do that.
Yeah.
Because today's perfumes are made with toxic solvents.
Yeah, this is one that her grandmother used, so you know it's not pharmaceutical-based at all, or it wasn't run through the chemical companies. In fact, it's very hard to find. When my dad was traveling, he would find it in 1 or 2 places in the United States or in Canada. Yeah, very special.
You know, I wasn't here last week, but, you know, you were talking about the information that came out about personal care items,
yes,
you know, quadrupling the risk of developing diabetes in people, especially females, because we have more. Yeah, that was in the newsletter. Yeah, that was in your newsletter. Yeah. And exactly. Since I am working as a health coach to help people become their own best healthcare, you know, coach, so to speak. I mean, to work on
you are a coach because you spend a lot of time with these people, just assessing what's going on in their lives, and then trying to help them find their own path to wellness, their own road to wellness.
But the thing about the exposure that people are having that's making them ill is we have chemical sensitivities, food sensitivities, the additives in personal care products and household products. They're astronomical, and the damage they're doing is terrible. So, you know, I thought, what if I use the essential oils as a medium to both put healing energy, and we put a little bit, we do a little other things. I mean, we do other things in terms of finding out what specifically will help that person. We look for frequencies that will help that person specifically. I mean, if someone wants a serum that's anti-aging for their face, but we know they're having a lot of stress, we may put a different oil that really helps with the stress at the same time, works on the aging. So it's kind of neat.
It's very cool. Very cool. And the other thing you use too is sound. And you know, we're coming up on a break now, so I want to remind people to check out my newsletter. Go to TFNN.com. Under newsletter, you'll find health signals. And that's a signal for you to just take a look at the sample we have there, and then, you know, try it free for 30 days. It doesn't cost you a dime. You just register with us, and if you decide not to continue it, but it's only $10 a month. And you can discount it at any time. Anytime you want, you can say, I don't want it anymore. But give us a call, folks. It's 877-927-6648. You can talk to Nico, you can talk to Paige, and we're going to be here talking about your health and how you can move in the direction of the road to wellness. So we'll be back in a couple minutes.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the Rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now. You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
Millionaires are made every day. The fact is, living your dreams is possible. Someone, somewhere is going to get rich. My recommendation is, let that be you. Each day, someone is making the decision to better themselves and creating a plan to fulfill their financial dreams. Let that be you. The key to turning dreams into reality is to take massive action. Let that be you. I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of the Money Master Show with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN, and I can help you with your journey to great wealth. I'll show you how to create the ultimate financial edge, a set of tools, insights, and strategies that are part of my daily newsletter service, Mastering Probability. You'll have direct access to me by phone, email, and my private library of trading and investing secrets for 30 days with an unconditional money-back guarantee. I'll take your trading to the next level. Click on my name, Steve Rhodes, on the homepage of TFNN.com and turn your dreams into reality. Mastering Probability, folks. Let that be you.
Kate Stalter's exciting newsletter, Low Priced Leaders, has just launched, and now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial. Every Wednesday afternoon, Kate sends out her weekly newsletter to her subscribers where she focuses on small cap stocks with market caps under $2 billion, as well as low-priced equities with share prices ranging from $5 to $12. Kate tracks a variety of stocks with a combination of strong technical support and solid fundamentals. Many of the stocks featured will be recent IPOs. These newer issues are often some of the biggest price gainers in the market and provide an excellent opportunity for substantial gains if timed correctly. You can catch Kate Stalter live on Tiger TV with her Small Cap Roundup every Tuesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and visit TFNN.com right now to get your 2-week free trial to her brand new newsletter, Low Priced Leaders, while locking in the low introductory monthly rate of only $37.50 per month, almost a 50% discount. Act now.
This segment is brought to you by Great Panther Silver. For more information, just click the Great Panther Silver banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back to the show, folks. Nico and Paige on TFNN.com, Living a Primal Lifestyle. And that's what we're doing here, Living a Primal Lifestyle in Clearwater, Florida. Remind you to pick up my Health Signals newsletter. I've got a new one coming out the 1st of this, September. But I've got a great issue that is so loaded with information that you need to stay healthy that it's going to take you a full month to read everything and listen to all the different clips that I have, all the videos that I have in there. And this was going to be in my next one, and this is really and this was sent to me by one of the taggers, Larry Ross, and I really want to thank people who send me information that pertains to our show, because that really helps me in my research, and then I know that you guys are really doing your own research too, which is what I really want you to do. Now this is this is about the FDA. I'm just going to read this to you. 5 years ago, a subcommittee on science and technology report entitled FDA Science and Mission at Risk details how the FDA cannot fulfill its mission, in part because its scientific base has ended and its scientific organizational structure is weak. The report found that the development of medical products based on new science cannot be adequately regulated by the FDA. The agency does not have the capacity to carry out risk management and analysis, and that the agency's scientific agenda lacks coherent structure and vision, as well as effective coordination and prioritizations. Now, Gary Null has a documentary which is The War on Health, the FDA's Cult of Tyranny. It features pioneering American and European attorneys, physicians, medical researchers, and advocates of health freedom, and exposes the FDA's militaristic operations against organic food providers and alternative physicians. Paige, you know a lot about this too.
I do.
It recently came to light that the FDA has engaged in sophisticated spying and surveillance. And these activities against scientists on its own staff who express concern over the agency's approval of medical imaging devices such as mammograms.
Or new technologies that might replace the
Right, and all of them have dangers of radiation. Let alone those things a lot of you are going through when you go to the airports. We don't even know. Nobody's allowed to wear any kind of radiation detection, the employees there. So there's always questions about those things. According to one recent report, the current trend continues that by the year 2035, the average family will face medical costs in excess of 100% of their income. And that's the trend.
But the next point is that the idea is, wouldn't it be great if they would allow the integration of complementary and alternative health care? Because complementary and alternative health care has a focus of prevention and staying well. It's on functional health, not on a disease or sick care model.
Yeah, in fact, Gary says in this that the only way to eliminate the problem is to actually integrate just what you said, integrate all these alternatives that have been used for thousands of years. And we've talked about this before, Paige, is that the whole medical organization of the organizations that govern medicine has been on a witch hunt against any kind of alternative because they want to be the only authority. They don't want you going anyplace else because, and I'm going to give you just a prime small example. I had one of my clients come in and he injured himself. He injured himself because he really didn't do what I suggested. He started feeling so good that he started doing more and more and more. And, each week he was doing twice as much before, and then you end up with an injury, and that's very common. And, he comes in, he says, I know you're going to tell me I told you so, but, he went to the doctor. He says, I'm going to have an MRI. Well, that's the standard thing that you do. You go with the doctor, you have an MRI because you're hurting, and in 5 minutes, I says, okay, your psoas muscle is hurting, it's tightened up, and I worked on the psoas muscle, I worked on the piriformis muscle, unlocked those two, and before the end of the 20 minutes that I worked with him, he was walking normal again. And it's going to be a long process before he can get back to what he wants to be doing.
But how many thousands of dollars later at the
doctor's
doctor's office?
With me, you're spending pennies compared to what you're spending at the doctor's office. Not only that, but it's a waste of money to have MRIs for all these different things.
Granted, let's just clarify. We're not saying that there's a time and a place to see a medical doctor. Definitely are. But what we need to do is all become more stewards about our own health and say, do I really need to do this? What could I do? What's available to me? The internet makes people talk like self-treatment is like something bad. I think it's the smartest thing there is.
That's the only thing there is, because self-treatment, if you're active, you're going to have to treat yourself. You're going to have to diagnose yourself, because the last thing you want to do is go to a doctor and spend the money unless it's necessary. We're going to be back, folks. Number here is 877-927-6648. Even have an international number, which is 727-445-1044. So give us a call, and we'll be back in a couple minutes.
Tom O'Brien's daily trading newsletter, Market Insights, has delivered powerful results for subscribers, and now is the perfect time to try it out for 2 weeks absolutely free. We're so confident in the value Tom provides his subscribers in his daily newsletter that through Labor Day weekend only, when you sign up for a 2-week free trial to Market Insights, we'll send you a free copy of Tom's best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, completely free of charge. Will even cover the shipping cost. Cancel at any time during your 2-week free free trial to Market Insights and pay nothing, and keep Tom's free book as a gift from us. This offer is only valid for new subscribers. We've only extended this offer once before, and it will only be active for a short period of 2 weeks. So act now to take advantage of this great offer and be ready to capitalize on a more active, more volatile market once traders return from their August vacations. All the details are on the front page of TFNN.com. Sign up for your free trial to get your free copy of Tom's best-selling book today. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Recently, Basil Chapman has had some outstanding trades in his newsletter, The Opening Call. Each morning by 9 a.m., Basil uploads his newsletter to the TFNN servers so that his subscribers can access his expert trading advice. Basil gives his take on the direction of key indices and updates any active trades that his subscribers are currently in. Just recently, Basil's subscribers closed out a short position in Chipotle Mexican Grill, CMG, for more than an $86 profit per share, over a 20% gain in just one position. If you'd like to check out Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, then visit the front page of TFNN.com and click Trading Newsletters. There you'll find Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, where you can request a free sample copy. Also, don't miss Basil's program, The Tiger Technicians Hour, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, on TFNN.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the Rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now.
This segment is brought to you by Crocodile Gold. For more information, just click the Crocodile Gold banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back to the show, folks. It's Nico and Paige here on Living a Primal Lifestyle, and we're just having a blast here. We were talking about the FDA before the break, and talking about this film called
we wanted to encourage everybody to watch Gary Null's documentary. It's called The War on Health, the FDA's Cult of Tyranny.
Yeah, and I have a link to that in my new newsletter coming up the first Friday of September. It's a full movie, about an hour and a half, and you'll have a link to there so you can watch that. Mm-hmm. And you had an important point that you mentioned during the break about this, too.
Well, the FDA is constantly complaining about its lack of funds but, instead of policing and checking information on drugs, which combined, more people die from correctly taken pharmaceutical drugs than cancer and heart disease combined, diabetes combined.
Yeah.
They're rating raw milk providers, walnut growers, cherry growers, and telling them that they're not allowed to state the health benefits of natural foods. And only by us starting to kind of wake up and be aware that that just doesn't make sense. We need to be able to make our own decisions about our choices for maintaining our health. and have the proper information. So we'd like you all to tune in and watch this nice piece of work, documentary, and give us some feedback. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's funny that all these little sayings that we had, an apple a day keeps the doctor away, all these things. But, if you have a product that you're trying to sell, like the raw milk or whether it's the organic walnuts, you can't really mention the benefits of taking these things. So you've really got to watch this film, because I think it really makes, and it's called The War on Health, the FDA's Cult of Tyranny.
And you can probably Google it and get a link to it, too.
Yeah, you can get a link to it, but I'd rather you pick up my newsletter. So
That's a
it's
better
only
place.
$10 a month, and you get a lot more information. So that's really important to do. And one of the products that I use, when I'm training or if I'm running short of time, I take a whey protein.
I love whey protein.
Yeah, whey protein has so many good things into it, and it's really what we call a complete protein, isn't it?
It is, it is.
And why is that important?
Well, it's very important because there are amino acids that we cannot get from our diet, the ones that we actually assimilate together. Yeah. But many of these amino acids are very important in helping us to detoxify. And we need those to synthesize our glutathione, which is our own body's natural antioxidant.
Okay.
And, I was very impressed with the whey protein that you're selling. There's some key factors that I think it's worth talking about, because people are running out, again, they're running out without someone to kind of coach them along who has taken a look at what's out there.
Yeah. If you go on the website of livingaprimalLifestyle.com, I've got a link to Emerald Essentials, and they sell a few products, some nice vitamins, and the whey protein that I use. And it's a whey protein that has whey concentrate in it.
And that's the key point.
Okay.
What you'll find in a lot of stores is whey protein isolate or soy protein isolate, which we don't even want to go there.
Yeah,
we don't even want to go there. Soy is not a toy for the girl or the boy.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's
So,
cool.
it's
You
easy
come
to
up with
remember.
these great sayings.
Little
I love
snigglets.
it. Okay.
But you're right. The concentrate, it's grass-fed, it's low cold processed, so the natural, enzymes and so forth aren't denatured.
Okay, so grass-fed, because we want that balance of the omegas in there.
Right.
We want the animal to be eating its natural food.
Well, cows weren't supposed to eat corn.
Right, and they're not meant to kept up in a barn or a factory farm.
Right.
They're meant to roam around. That's when they're happy, we're going to be happy.
Their anatomy was designed to digest grass, not corn. We decided to start feeding them corn.
Right. And, when they started feeding the cows corn, you just think about it. Actually, they started feeding us corn first. Not only corn, and I'm not talking about the sweet corn that you get. I'm talking about corn and all these different products that we have, including the vegetable oils. All these oils were just basically waste products, folks, that somebody came along and said, hey, we're throwing this stuff away. Can't we use it for something else? Oh, yeah. Well, it's tasteless, and we can actually make it last for a long time and sit it on the shelf, and we can tell the people that they can use it in cooking instead of the lard and the butter and all these good things that we used to use. And, okay, so the other thing is we want it grass-fed. We want it to be a concentrate and not an isolate.
Correct.
We want it cold-pressed. Why is that?
Well, because the heat actually damages the proteins.
Exactly.
And the enzymes and actually, quite frankly, heat creates a toxic fat.
Right. And when you're doing pasteurization, that at least in this country is a high heat, 180 degrees or more.
And this new ultra pasteurization that everyone sees, they think that's supposed to be healthier. It's actually worse. That we're kind of digressing for a second, but let's talk about milk. And what I tell my clients, and it's kind of like anything else. We can debate whether or not something's a good food, but I prefer my clients not have pasteurized milk.
Sure. Or even pasteurized cheese.
Pasteurized anything. Pasteurized cheese, milk, all these things. Now, when we start to ferment and add the probiotics in, those things could be debatable. But on the other hand, grass-fed raw milk.
That's the stuff we used to drink on the farm.
For pet consumption only, probably available from a local co-op in your area.
Yeah, because there's the FDA in this film. You'll see the FDA cracks down on that.
Rating the raw milk farmers. So what I was going to say is that raw milk, in my opinion, is a superfood. So here you go. Cows milk, goat's milk, processed, pasteurized, bought at your grocery store, avoid it.
Yeah.
Raw milk that you make for your pets, that's the kind of milk.
So what the FDA is doing really is helping these large companies shut down these small farmers, because the only way you can really get these raw products, these great products, is locally from somebody close to you. And usually they're small businessmen. What America was really made about. We're all independent, small business people. All you taggers and taggerses out there, you're small, independent businesses. And the FDA is trying, food-wise, trying to get these people out of business so the large companies can produce these things. Well, they can't produce it because on a large scale, this stuff doesn't last. So they have to change it.
Right, but so just talking about the milk, and you can take this into the whey protein thing,
right,
because it's important that people understand. Commercial milk is corn-fed milk. Okay, so we already don't have the right omega-3/6 ratio. They're going to be heavy in the omega-6. Right. Okay, they're high heat.
Right.
Pasteurized, ultra-pasteurized. Why? When people go, oh, I want to kill all those germs. I challenge anyone to take a jug of raw milk and a jug of pasteurized milk and smell them in 8 days. The raw milk will smell exactly the same. The pasteurized milk will smell like something's died.
Yeah.
But what the heat does is it creates a trans fat, heated fat. You know how we talk about eating healthy fats?
Right. And what is a trans fat exactly?
Well, the structure has been denatured. I mean, that's the dangerous fats that we're thinking of that's been heated, when you get your French fries from,
even margarine.
Margarine is trans fat.
Crisco.
Correct.
All these shortenings.
So, in effect, pasteurized milk, people are, milk does a body good, the Milk Council.
It's too bad.
They're drinking pasteurized milk, and that's not the choice.
Right.
The place to
it's really the only
milk.
place. I mean, otherwise, I don't drink a lot of milk myself. I never liked it, but I remember on the farm drinking it, and it was a lot more tolerable. But
Well, then you get into fermented like kefir and yogurt that's made. And again, it's all in moderation, but I'm just trying to make the point, if you're going to use these products, make sure you're getting them from the right sources.
Yeah, it's so important. And again, it's the small business person is what we want to promote. So try to find a farmer in your area who does the milk raw. Not many of us we don't have cows in the backyard. We're lucky if we can have a couple of chickens. And I know quite a few people that have 2 or 3 chickens and doing great well. But remember, we're talking about earlier about how the Republican convention is here. Whether it's Republican or Democrat doesn't really matter. To me, it's one party, and the head pops up differently every few years. What's going on is these political organizations are actually helping the FDA and all of these large companies to get rid of us, the small businessman. And whether they're doing it on a trading basis, or whether they're doing it from a food manufacturing basis, or whether they want to do it in any kind of way possible, because the rich people get richer. That's all what happens. And I'm not slamming anybody for making a lot of money, because we all want to make a lot of money. Certainly, that's how we have a great lifestyle.
Well, when you talk about the large corporations, another really current event that I encourage you all to research on your own is what's going on. Kind of the way of California is the way of the nation. And there's a big battle regarding the labeling and the right to know what's in your food. And we'll talk more about GMOs, I'm sure, on another. But I want you to pay attention to what's going on in California. And it's very interesting to see what corporations are actually spending millions of dollars to fight the right to label initiative in California. And on Facebook and on the internet, you can kind of Google. It makes it easier than us having a zillion sources, but there's a big movement to boycott those corporations that are spending the money. They might have an organic brand, but the parent company is now one of the big corporations, the food conglomerates. They've bought up that's not of the smaller organic companies, and even though they've got an organic label, they're actually paying and funding the fight against your right to know what's in your food. So the GMO labeling, right to know what's in your food, is huge, and we encourage you, giving you some ideas of things to check up on that we're talking about, the movie, Gary Knowles' movie, and the right to know and the labeling, the right to label.
Yeah.
Real important.
It's so important because that's the only way we can get really information about the products we have, unless you're going to a farmer's market, and the danger too is that these large corporations have a lot of money to be able to not only persuade things, but they can do things that the small farmer can't. So when they say, oh, we're going to label things a certain way, or we're going to have all these different inspections, or we need to have procedures done this way, and then put it into law, that puts a crimp into the small businessman who can't afford to do those things. Right. Even though it doesn't matter whether he has a great product or not, that's not the point to the FDA or to our government, other government sources, or to these large companies. The important thing is that we drive these people out of business so there can be only one or two companies doing this.
So let's get back to your whey protein, for example. As an example, you know, just like I have, you've chosen whey protein that is boutique whey protein. You know,
definitely.
If they walk into Walmart or GNC, they're going to see a wall full of isolates.
Oh, and I'll tell you, in our health food store, there's got to be 40 different brands. It's so confusing.
Mm-hmm. And so the difference is that someone is trying to do this the right way.
Yes.
And you're representing, again, the small farmer. But let's talk about why. The good quality whey really helps build the immune system, and that's why whey protein is such an excellent protein source in terms of building the immune system. I mentioned, you know, we're coming into the fall, and maybe that'll be a good thing. We were going to talk a little bit about being prepared. But, you know, building the immune system and helping the body's own detoxification pathway. Glutathione is your own antioxidant. You know, everyone's running around buying antioxidants. Well, why not help your own body make its own?
That's what we really need to do. That's
sod and glutathione, these are what our body uses to do. And the cysteine in the whey protein is one of the main building blocks of restoring the glutathione pathway. So you get a grass-fed, cold-pressed, boutique, healthy, ethically raised protein, and add that to your...
And these drinks, I mean, it might be 6 or 7 or 8 ounces of this liquid, you know, that you put the powder in, but you can add other things to it. You add a couple of raw eggs on there if you want. You want to add some juice in there, you can do that. There's so many things you can make with this. So if you're in a hurry in the morning, you want to have a decent breakfast, but you don't have the time, this is a good one. Mm-hmm. And the whey protein I really recommend would be the one on my website, livingaprimalLifestyle.com. I got Emerald Essentials, and it'll take you. You click on that, it'll take you right to the Emerald Essentials website, and go under the nutrition products, and you'll find it there and order from there, and it's recommended by me. It says right on the website there. So real important to get the right one. There's other brands out there too you can search for, naturally. Mm-hmm. The other thing is we were talking earlier about the changes, the hurricane coming. Being prepared, but also the fall is coming, and children are just getting back to school. Mm-hmm. And, you know, what a better way to safeguard your children and yourself than to boost your immune system naturally, just like Louis Pasteur. And we talked about this on the way out here, is that Louis Pasteur, on his deathbed, said what?
Beauchamp was right.
Beauchamp was right.
The terrain is everything.
The terrain is everything.
That's the reason why people go, how come I got sick and the other person didn't? Germs are everywhere. I mean, they're all over us. You know, we're actually a host for that, and it's really your own terrain and your immune system and the environment, your extracellular fluid, and whether or not you become a good host for these germs to multiply.
Yeah, and we all get exposed to these germs, folks, but why am I not getting a cold when the person next to me is getting the cold, or the flu, or the allergies, or whatever?
And that's kind of the role of a wellness coach, is how do you help people stay well?
That's right.
You know, I often tell my clients to bring in your lab work. Well, it's not because I don't diagnose disease, or I'm not a medical doctor and don't diagnose disease. What I look for is wellness.
Yeah.
I'm evaluating wellness.
Yeah.
And we'll talk a little bit more about how what people can do to kind of kick off the fall.
And one thing you can do is call Paige. Okay, the call number here is 877-927-6648. You still got time to give us a call, and look at my newsletter on TFNN.com, and we'll be right back with another segment.
If you're an investor looking for a great weekly investment newsletter, then now is the perfect time to try out Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Every Tuesday, Ken breaks down multiple sectors in his weekly newsletter, Ultimate Growth Stocks, with a full in-depth report including specific trading recommendations within his model portfolio, charts, sector analysis, upcoming economic data, along with intra-week trading updates on newsletter positions whenever the market dictates. Right now, you can receive a full month, that's 30 days, to evaluate Ken's newsletter free of charge to see if it fits your trading plan. At less than $75 per month, Ken provides you with his expert trading advice that can pay for itself in no time. Take advantage of this great offer by signing up for a 30-day free trial to Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks today. Don't let this offer pass you by. Visit the front page of TFNN.com and sign up now.
With the launch of Tiger TV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Ken Shreve, Kay Stalter, David White, Larry Pesavento, Victor Jones, or Daryl Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back to the show, folks. It's Nico and Paige on Living a Primal Lifestyle, and we're talking about, just boosting your immune system is the best way that you can protect yourself and your family to not be stressed out and not get these little inconvenient diseases that we get and illnesses that we get coming into a different weather change coming up. And I know you know a lot about this, Paige, because you're constantly working with people. And, of course, you can contact Paige. What's your phone number that they can reach you at?
It's 727-614-9777. That's the East Coast number. And you can also email me right now until I get my site up. at nico@tfnn.com.
And I'll forward it to you.
Yeah.
Of course, you can email me at any time you want, folks, at nico@tfnn.com. You can also call me at 727-418-8740 if you got anything pertaining to what we talk about, or whether it's exercise or what you need to do for yourself. Because above all, Paige and I are both consultants.
Exactly.
And, the best work we do is teaching you how to do things yourself.
And, we were talking a little bit today, kind of how our conversation started about being prepared, how we realized we need to be prepared with this hurricane. And it's caused me to think with a lot of my clients about, we're back in school, we're being exposed to different infectious organisms, and the kids are going back to school, and what can we do? And a lot of you tigers are, you're sitting at your desk, you're not moving like you really should, and I wanted to just give you a couple tips on maybe how to get your immune system in peak order to kind of protect you from some of what's coming this fall. I want to encourage you all to be aware of the importance of keeping your vitamin D level elevated. And if you haven't had your vitamin D levels checked, you have to ask your doctors for that, because they really just don't add it as a standard blood test. You have to ask for the blood test. And it's important to see, because vitamin D, and you can get some unbiased information from the Vitamin D Council. You can Google it. But vitamin D helps protect you from 300 different illness type situations. So I really encourage you to learn about getting your vitamin D level to the optimum range, which those of us that are in functional medicine believe should be 70 and above. Your doctor will tell you if you're in the 40s, that you're adequate, but we don't want to be adequate. We want to be in a position of...
And the winter coming, a supplementation is a good way to do it if you're not going to be out in the sun for a little while.
I think vitamin D is one of your best defense mechanisms for prevention of the flu.
Yeah. So what are some of the other things besides vitamin D? There's, if you're sitting in front of a computer all day, what's the best thing you can do?
Well, one of the things we've been talking about is the importance of moving. And when I say moving, I want you to be moving your lymph system. And your lymph system doesn't have its own pump like the heart. The heart pumps the blood through your body, but our lymph is moved from an up and down movement. And one of the best things that you can do is to get a mini trampoline, because I know you need to be watching your screen and watching what's going on, but how easy it would be to buy one of the mini trampolines and take a couple sessions where you just bounce and you can still be aware. Another thing that a lot of people recommend doing is using the exercise balls.
Sitting down in front of your computer on it.
Right,
yeah.
and just moving your regular desk chair, but sitting on the ball, because you can do a lot of bouncing on that ball.
In fact, there's a couple of companies that make a chair bottom that the ball sits into.
Perfect.
So then if you're not that well balanced, or you want to be a little more steady, you can still have the bouncy going on. And but I like the one where you can move around, because when I'm at a computer for a while, I want to just move around there for a while, and it just makes me feel better, because it really adjusts my posture.
Yeah, so the lymph system is how we move toxins from our body. So when we talked about Beauchamp stating that the terrain was everything, you want to keep your terrain clean.
That's a good way to end the program, too, folks. And Paige is going to be back with us in about 2 weeks.
Sounds great.
And she's going to be a regular here on the show. We're going to be co-hosts. So we look forward to the transition coming up and living a primal lifestyle. Don't forget, look at my newsletter, Health Signals, by the way, on that site. And you'll be in good shape. And until next time, I'll be back next Friday. And see you then.
Stay well.